Hello everyone, welcome back to Innuendo, the story I have written during secondary school. Now, we are on chapter 2, called Now I'm Here, and if you didn't tune into the last episode, all the chapters are after Queen songs. I won't be mentioning that in any of the other chapter episodes. Anyway, here we go. While waiting for the bus to leave to a new land, James decided to call Matt. Matt answered the phone with a concerned, "Hey, James." James replied quickly, "Dude, I'm running away. I can't take this town anymore." Matt replied with confusion, "What the hell? Why are you running away? This town is perfectly fine. You've been here for 10 whole years, and now you find a problem." James said back to Matt, "Yes, I know, but I'm fairly sure there is someone hunting me down, or something." Matt, for the love of God, for the love of yourself, go see a doctor about you seeing things and hearing things that aren't there." James said back, But they are there. You don't understand my problem." Matt said, "You don't have a damn problem, James. It's all in your damn twisted mind. There is no one trying to hunt you down or kill you." Phone starts breaking up. James says, "What do I do?" in a concerned manner. Matt says, while the phone is breaking up, Run. Away." Phone connection is lost. Matt, shouted James in complete fear and slight anger. James then said to himself, "So he spent all the time telling me to not run away, and then he says to run away? What the hell?" James, in his frustration, smashes his phone and gets on the bus. James then says, "Where the hell am I about to go? Ugh, I don't even care." James gets off the bus at a motel called Killer Queen Inn. James pondered for a moment and wondered what the hell kind of name is that. He then reads words underneath that said, "Kill that awful sleep here at Killer Queen's." James stood for a moment with confusion on his face and said, "Well, that is interesting." James walked toward the sign-in hut of the motel, but it was closed. James then decided to ring the bell for staff. James sat down. While waiting, he noticed a neon light sign went off and back on, and then he saw a hanging body dangling from the sign. When the light went off and back on again, the body disappeared. James said to this sight of horror, "That ain't real, is it?" James then noticed someone coming down from the house on the hill. The man took James into the sign-in hut and got James a room. James said to the manager, "This motel has a strange name, doesn't it?" Silence waited as the man working there replied, "Yes, it is, but it gets a lot of visitors. So yeah." Silence grew thicker as no one said anything until James said, "So, how much does the room cost?" The man replied, $25.50 is the price." James looked thankful and said back to the man, "Good. So what room are you putting me in?" The man leaned over and grabbed the room 1 key and said to James, "I'm putting you in room 1. Let's turn the page. Look for that line. Apparently I have it underlined that says what, so it's probably gonna be messed up. Yeah. James then handed over the money to the man. James then went to room 1 and opened the door and looked in the dimly lit room and said, "It could be worse." James took a big sigh and closed the door behind him. And he then walked toward the bed and put his back down and went to the bathroom. Back. I think that was supposed to be bag. I think I'm gonna start underlining problems that I come across because they seem to be like pretty frequent. You know, it's moments in life when you think you got all the problems done and gotten rid of and everything's fixed, and then you go back through it and it's like, oh, there's still a few. No, that's the wrong word. Bag. I put big because it looked like bag. Put his back down. Jeepers. Bag down and went to the bathroom. James exited the bathroom and heard a loud knocking on the door. James went to the door, expecting someone to be there, but when James opened the door and saw there was nothing and no one there, it then struck lightning, and it started to rain. James said, "You have to be kidding me." James returned into his apartment and turned on the television and turned on the news. He then closed the curtains in the room, and then he continued to lay back down in the room's bed. And about 5 minutes later, the TV started to static, like the one in his apartment. But James heard a faint voice, and it said, "You can't escape us. You can't escape us, James. We are coming for you." The TV went back to normal, but then James heard loud, fast knocking on the door. James was frightened. He jumped out of his bed and got to the door and opened it, and nothing was there again, and the wind was howling, and the rain was hitting hard, so James presumed the knocking was the wind. And wind hitting the wood. That's what it was supposed to be. That line right there. I put that in, didn't I? I believe I did. I'll just correct it later. Yeah. Lucky I'm not getting this published anytime soon, so, you know. Hitting the wood and set in with confusion is an off line, but whatever. It was just the wind. James then went to go lie down on the motel's bed and whispered to himself, even though it should be himself, "I'm just gonna sleep through this damn horrible night." I'm messing up all the lines. Oh, sorry. "I'm just gonna sleep through this horrible damn night." James, lying in his bed, started to fall into a deep sleep. James then woke up in what looked to be an abandoned hospital. James looked around the room and tried to see where he was. James tried to scream, but he couldn't. But then he realized he was strapped to the bed and had a mouth strap on so he couldn't scream for help. James then waited, and then a doctor came in and asked, "So James, how are you?" James couldn't speak, but screamed in the strap. But the doctor said, "Alright James, I'm going to take this strap off your mouth, but don't scream, okay?" James nodded to the doctor. The doctor released his mask and he said, "How does that make you feel, James?" James asked in fear and confusion, where am I?" The doctor replied to James, "You're in hospital. You don't remember?" James got a shocked face and replied, "Why am I here?" The doctor put the mouthstrap back on James and said in a slightly evil tone, "I'll come back in the morning and maybe you'll remember." That sounds familiar. Sorry. The doctor chuckled and walked away. Meanwhile, James was screaming as hard as he could, and managed to scream, "Get me out of here!" James then woke up, frightened, in his motel bed with his heart pounding fast, and James gasping for air, and said in a shaky voice, I need help. That can't be normal. It just can't." Alright, and now we're on to chapter 3. Ooh, look at that. Grammar mistakes. At least I corrected all the grammar. Or tried to, anyway. That is going to be the end of chapter 2. Now I'm here. Hope you all enjoyed. And I hope to see I hope to entertain you guys in the next chapter reading. Anyway guys, I'll see you then.